prayed the same prayer 47 times this week. You've begged, bargained, and broken down. And the only reply from heaven is a sound you were never taught to expect. Nothing. So what do you do when the God who promised to answer refuses to speak? Let me take you back to a man named Habakkuk. Not a king, not a warrior, just a prophet standing on a crumbling wall, watching his nation tear itself apart. Sound familiar? It's 2026. Your newsfeed is a dumpster fire. Your heart is a clenched fist. And God is quiet. Most people assume divine silence means divine absence. But Habakkuk discovered something terrifying and beautiful. The silence isn't a punishment, it's an invitation. Habakkuk 1:2. How long, Lord, must I call for help, but you do not listen? Today, we're not going to give you a spiritual band-aid. We're going to walk into the echo chamber of heaven's quiet and find a faith that doesn't need a sign to survive. Habakkuk chapter 1, verses 2 through 4. Listen to the raw honesty, because God can handle your rage. How long, Lord, must I call for help, but you do not listen? Why do you make me look at injustice? Destruction and violence are before me. There is strife and conflict abounds. Therefore the law is paralyzed, and justice never prevails. That's not a hymn. That's a lawsuit. And God doesn't smite him for it. God answers, just not how he expected. Here's the context most people miss. Habakkuk lived just before Babylon crushed Judah around 605 BC. Think economic collapse, broken covenants, and people sold into debt, slavery. He wasn't being dramatic. He was watching his friends get murdered in the streets. So he climbs the watchtower, a literal stone guard post, and waits. No angel, no burning bush, just hot wind and the smell of distant smoke. Archaeologists have found those same towers. They're narrow, lonely, and offer no comfort, just visibility. Habakkuk doesn't get a miracle, he gets a vision. And in that silence, God says, I am doing something you would not believe, even if you were told. In other words, the silence isn't empty. It's pregnant with a future you can't yet see. Here's the secret Habakkuk learned that most of us never do. Faith isn't believing God will change your circumstances. Faith is trusting God inside your silence. You've been asking, God, why won't you fix this? But what if he's asking, will you still love me if I don't? That's the crucible. That's the dark night of the soul. By chapter 3, everything is worse. The fig tree doesn't bud, no grapes on the vine. The fields produce no food. Today, that might mean your savings are gone, your health has failed, and your family is scattered. Yet Habakkuk declares, I will rejoice in the Lord. That's not toxic positivity. That's a man who has touched bottom and found bedrock. The silence doesn't mean he's absent. It means he's weaning you off signs so you can know him beyond feelings. So let's stop running from the silence. Let's lean into it. Would you pray with me? Out loud in your room or just in your heart? Father, who hears, even when I feel unheard, forgive me for mistaking your silence for abandonment. Teach me to stand watch like Habakkuk, not demanding answers, but trusting your character. When my world shakes, let my soul say, yet you are holy, yet you are good, yet I will hope. Give me no sign today, just yourself. Amen. Here's what Habakkuk left us. The quiet ones win, not the loud shouters, not the miracle chasers. The ones who stay at their post when heaven goes silent. That's unshakable faith. You are not forgotten. You are being forged. And one day, maybe not today, you'll look back at this silence and realize God was never closer than when you couldn't hear him at all. If this hits something deep, do two things for me. First, comment one word, yet. That's our code. It means you're staying on the wall. Second, send this to one person who feels like heaven is quiet tonight. Let them know they're not alone. I'll see you next time when we talk about what happens after the silence breaks. Until then, stay awake, stay watchful, and don't leave the wall